Now, Wave 31 Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist Jeff Castle with 31 Triple Doppler.
All right, well, it's been so nice here, but it's difficult to think about how nice it is because of Florida and the hurricane.
Absolutely.
They're saying it's going to be terrible.
Yeah, this is going to be a really bad storm coming in there across the state of Florida. Again, it's the nature of our planet and the weather. We've got beautiful weather here. In fact, that extends all the way down towards the Gulf Coast of Alabama. But you head into the southern Gulf and it's a whole different story. We just had a monster storm out there. It's not what it was 24 hours ago in terms of intensity, but it's not far off. And really, a few miles per hour difference in the winds not going to make any sort of difference in the impacts that this is going to have as it moves inland over Florida within the next 36 hours. As I mentioned at the top of the newscast, now Category 5 storm again. It did weaken in the last 24 hours due to some changes in the eye structure. Sometimes these powerful hurricanes go through what's called an eyewall replacement cycle, which basically means a new eye forms, the original eye dies out. But once that process has completed, that opens the door for re-strengthening, and that is what has occurred with Milton this afternoon, as conditions do remain favorable for this to remain a powerful hurricane. Warm water out ahead of it to give it energy. And at least for now, the wind shear, which tends to be a deterrent to these tropical systems, remains low, although that is expected to change here in the next 24 hours, which is why the forecast does call for this to weaken slightly before it makes its way inland. It's moving east at 9 right now, but is expected to turn more to the northeast over the next 12 hours. The forecast track here, which we also got an update on at 4 o'clock at the top of the hour, shows that maintaining that Category 5 strength overnight tonight might actually in between get just a little bit stronger before things kind of level out. And then through the day tomorrow, there will start to be that influence of that increase in wind shear, which will lead to some slow drop-offs in the intensity. Still likely, though, Category 4 storm tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock. And then as we take you into Wednesday night, that's when landfall is expected. This is still almost Category 4 strength at that point. 125, the forecast winds Wednesday night, 130. Makes it a Cat 4, so it's going to be very close to the cusp of that. You do see the latest track here, anywhere from the Tampa, St. Pete area down to Fort Myers is going to be fair game for where this is going to move inland, and it's going to have several hazards with it. Of course, you know the rain, but also the strong wind and the storm surge, which could be as high as 15 feet above normal sea levels here along the west coast of Florida. It stays a hurricane as it tracks through. In fact, we see now Walt Disney World closing for the next couple of days. They'll start to shut things down tomorrow, as this will likely still be a hurricane all across the state of Florida as it emerges into the Atlantic heading into early Friday morning. From there, quickly tracks away from the coast, loses its tropical characteristics, and that will be it for Milton. But again, the aftermath of this storm is likely to be significant. In the red here, these are all your hurricane warnings. Again, Tampa, Fort Myers, Orlando, Daytona Beach, down to Fort Pierce, all included in hurricane warning.